Hey everybody, it's Emma. Thank you very much for joining me in this video today. I wanted to talk about some new makeup that I have collected over the past month or so, including a lot of the new Wet n Wild limited edition Flights of Fancy collection. There's one thing in this video that I'm going to be trying for the very first time, so, take all of that as you will. Let's just dive in. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is what is on my nails. So I have found in my local Ulta, CVS, Walgreens, the whole Wet n Wild collection. All of the lip glosses, all of the nail polishes are sold separately, the brush, all of the different aspects of this collection that I saw on Wet n Wild's website. I had considered getting the box, but when I added up all the things I really wanted, it was less than the box. So I figured I'd just wait until I found stuff in stores. So let's go through these nail polishes really quickly. First of all, I love this packaging. I love the packaging of the whole collection. I think it's super cute. The MegaLast formula Wet n Wild nail polish has been my favorite forever. They're very sneaky putting them in these little half-size containers, and I still bought 4 of them. Well played, Wet n Wild. But this shade I've been holding up is a really pretty cream coral. It's called Tou-Can, Play That Game. Like the bird, get it? Haha, there it is on my finger. The one problem I have with this is that it does stain my nails even when I wear a base coat. I don't know if I care that much, honestly, because it's a really pretty color and it's so great for this time of year. I'll probably continue to wear it anyway. Sorry, nails. The next 2 shades are kind of that shimmery metallic that doesn't actually have glitter in it. The first one is a really beautiful kind of deep jade green called Fly with Envy. Now, I wasn't planning on picking this one up because I'm not really a big fan of green nail polish, but this has just enough blue that it made it really pretty. And I actually think I will add in the blue that I'll talk about in a second after I film this. You can see the product straight up, but I think I will add a little bit of blue into it. But it is a really pretty color, and it's got that kind of sheen to it. It's not a cream like Tou-Can, Play That Game. The blue is called Bird's Eye View. Again, this was one I wasn't planning on picking up any of the nail polishes, honestly. I love this shade of blue, but I usually prefer it in a cream, but I actually think that I love it anyway. It just adds a nice shine. It's not that kind of obnoxious metallic that sometimes these can be, even the Wet n Wild formulas. Last but not least, we have the High Life, which is a sheer teal with kind of a gold sheen to it with holographic glitter. It's really, really pretty. I have it on my pinky right now. This is a great, well, it's great for everything, but I've really been loving this on my toes. One new thing that I've been playing around with, and you can probably tell that I look a little bit ghostly, it is the Untinted SPF 30 Benefit Balm. And this is everything that people don't like about mineral SPFs. It is thick. It leaves a white cast. I have very pale skin, and I can tell that I look gray and ashy and awful. Awful's a little bit harsh. I'm sorry, self. You don't look awful. But this, I'm not loving it so much. But I do want to try it under a full face of foundation and see if I can make it work, because I did spend $10 on it, and it just seems wasteful to throw it away. It also says it mattifies for less shine, but I feel very slippy and shiny right now. I don't recommend it. Let's say that. The other thing I wanted to mention is from Pearlessence, which is apparently a TJ Maxx brand. I couldn't find a ton of information about them online. It does claim to be cruelty-free on the bottle. I couldn't find anything to prove or disprove that. But this is the Overnight Recovery Serum, Rose Oil Collagen. It was like $5, so I figured, hey, what the hell, I'll try it. This was a really good lesson reminder in why you try one skincare item at a time. So I got, I think, 4 little skincare bits, and of course, being me, I want to try them all at once, but I only use this, and for the first, I don't know, 3 or 4 days, I was like, all right, this is awesome. I'm not breaking out. My skin looks good. And then I started breaking out. So once I stopped using this, breakouts stopped. I still have a couple remnants over here, but this broke me out. So that is a fail for me. So my eyes are already primed with the Photo Focus primer from Wet n Wild. So let's talk the eyeshadow quads in this collection. Now I've been playing with these for 2 weeks now, and so I have some pretty good thoughts about them, I guess. I'll just go through them really quickly. I mean, there are a million videos on these. I'm just going to give you my perspective. So Hasta la Costa Baby is a really pretty palette. The transition shade is nice. The brow bone shade is all right. This teal is amazing. I was really worried because Wet n Wild can do teals fantastic, and they can also do them really shitty. So I was like, which way are you gonna go on this one, Wet n Wild? And this is awesome. The purple is okay, but I find that it fades really quickly, and you really have to pack it on, which I found was true for some other shades that I'll talk about in a second. If you're going for the purple, you might be a little more disappointed, or you're gonna just have to put a little extra work in to make it work. But if you're loving that teal, then definitely go for it. Flock Party is the next palette I want to talk about. I find these shadows in here to be quite powdery, so you definitely want to tap your brush off. I try to get in the habit of doing that anyway, but you can probably see in that transition shade, you know, the powder that's just kicked up from me using it. The brow bone is nice. The gold crease color it's all right, you know. The eyelid shade I was a little disappointed by. It's a beautiful color, and you know, I want this on my eyelid, and it takes a lot to get this shade to look that vibrant. You need a base, or you need to just keep layering, keep layering, keep layering. These blend away really quickly and very easily, which may or may not be a plus for you, depending on what you like. I've definitely created some really pretty looks with this, but I do wish this had just a little bit more oomph. And then we have Stop Ruffling My Feathers, which I wasn't planning on getting, but of course I saw it and I was like, oh, it's so pretty, I might as well just get it because they're $2.99. But it has this really beautiful rose gold up here. It has this coppery crease color, which is really nice. Now this brow bone shade, when I first swatched it, did not swatch at all. And I was like, oh man, it's kind of a cool taupey, silvery color. However, I have worn this on my eyes and had very, very good luck with it. It's just not a shade that swatches well. In fact, I've probably used this shade more than anything else out of these palettes because it's a really beautiful one shadow, one and done look. It just adds that nice kind of sheen to the eye. It's really pretty, and the transition shade is nice. The transition shade in all of these is pretty nice. The kind of, like I said, the one in Flock Party is a little bit powdery. But let's start putting stuff on the face. I'm going to start taking the transition shade on a fluffy brush from Hasta la Costa. I'm going to run that slightly above my crease. That's just going to add a little extra something to help everything blend really nicely. I'm going to take that teal on a Real Techniques shading brush, start that at the inner corner. I actually want to continue that, again, above my crease and out, but hopefully you can see how impactful that shade is. It might fade a little bit, but not really very noticeably throughout the day, so that is a whopping win. Now I'm going to take the gold shade in Flock Party. It's going to go right through the center. And actually, let me take that kind of ruby shade so you can see what I mean. See how it's kind of sheer and wishy-washy? But it does blend really nice. So as long as you use it with the correct amount of expectations, or, you know, go over a base pretty well. I want to do some stuff on the lower lash line, but first I want to put under eye concealer on. I just find that I prefer to put the concealer on before, maybe because it gives a little bit more of an even base. I don't have to worry about messing my eyeshadow up, and I find that these shades actually don't fall out at all. I have bought my first item from Makeup Revolution, and that is the Conceal and Define concealer. I have it in C2. I have no complaints so far, except that it doesn't always last. Like I've had this symbol on my cheek from that Pearlessence stuff, and you know, by the end of the day it's red and obvious. But I find this lasts really well under my eyes. This shade is really, really nice for me. Now I want to set that before I keep going with my eyeshadow. I've been playing around with this Catrice Prime and Fine Mattifying Waterproof Powder. Now, it's a nice powder, but it is not at all mattifying. And you'll see that as we continue this process. All right, going back to the eyes, I'm gonna go back into Hasta La Costa, baby. Go into the brow bone shade with my accent brush. I'm gonna go around the inner corner. I think I'm actually gonna start with this purple, just so you can see it. It is a really pretty color. It's a very kind of blue purple. And it does go on nicely. It just doesn't stay on. From there, I'm going to go into Stop Ruffling My Feathers. Start with this pink gold. So this is going center towards the outer corner, but not all the way. Actually mixes really nicely with the purple. Might be another look I'll have to play with. That's one thing that's been really fun about these eyeshadows, even if not all of them hit it out of the park as far as quality. There's just so many different combinations and so many ways to play. You can keep it very neutral, simple. You can go absolutely bonkers. There's so many different combinations to play with. I'm finally going to take the copper shade and Stop Ruffling My Feathers and bring that all the way out. I didn't get any of the liners from the collection. They're really pretty, but I just don't see myself using them that much. The green one, that Deep Forest Green, that's been tempting me, and there is certainly a possibility that I might pick that up at some point anyway. But in the meantime, I'm just going to use my NYX Epic Ink liner. I'm going to start just lining. I mean, I suppose with a bird-themed collection, wings would be appropriate. We'll see. I'm going to try to make little wings. Famous last words. Okay, so full disclosure, the things that I've been decluttering in my videos from the past like 2 months are still sitting right in front of me. So I'm just going to grab an eyeliner from there because I'm really lazy. This is the Wet n Wild Fergie eyeliner in HyperSky, and I'm just going to use that on my waterline because blue is literally the only color we're missing so far in this look. I'm going to use my Essence Luscious of the Day. I really like this mascara, and the more I use it, the more I like it. Okay, moving on to the brand new product I have not tried at all. This is the new Physicians Formula Foundation. It's called the Healthy Foundation. I have it in LW2, which is the second lightest shade. 1 fluid ounce of product. It's free of all the things. No fragrance, parabens, it's gluten-free, cruelty-free, it's vegan, actually. So if that is a concern, nice kind of heavy glass bottle, top twists off. Oh, that's right, it's one of those paddle-y ones. So let me shake it up. Wasn't sure if it was a pump or not. I haven't seen any reviews of this. I haven't searched them out. There was a $3 coupon. I figured I'd try it. I need a foundation. I just used up my Kat Von D, and I'm not going to purchase any more from Kat Von D. So I need to find something else, because I was going to get another Lock-It foundation, but I'm not anymore. It smells like makeup. It has a little bit of a similar smell as the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Liquid. Not quite as strong. But as I think I have said before, I would much prefer there to be no added fragrance. Have it smell like what it smells like. Well, it's quite a light coverage. The shade match seems to be spot on though. Ooh, it builds on itself really nicely. These are all good things. Blends easy. It's kind of mattified the mattifying SPF I put on. Although it looks quite natural on my skin. It's not covering up blemishes, but that extra little layer on my nose just zapped any redness there, which is really cool. Grab my concealer just to hit those couple of spots real quick. I don't even need concealer on my nose, which is cool. I want to see how it wears. My first impression is positive though, for whatever that's worth. I also want to mention I have the case for the Real Technique sponge. If you have cats that like to play with spongy things, it's essential. And it's nice, I guess. However, the sponge will not dry in it, even though it has cutouts in the outer packaging, or in the plastic rather. So if you put it in damp, it will come out damp, which is probably not great. I always set my foundation, so I'm gonna set my foundation with the not mattifying powder from Catrice and a new brush. I've been eyeing these for months. This is one of the Real Techniques brushes from the Brush Crush collection. This is the 300 powder brush. I love it. It's so soft. It's so girly and pretty and sparkly, and it's awesome. Circling on back to the Wet n Wild stuff, I got two of the blushes. The first one is called Dare to Soar. There's one more blush that I didn't get because I didn't feel like I needed it. Although I have heard that it's just as beautiful as these. The hummingbird in there, just the packaging on this collection, just, I love it so much. Anyway, that is Dare to Soar. Obviously, that's packed on a lot. I find that the Wet n Wild blushes are intense. You need a light hand. You need to be very careful with them, in my experience. These are not quite as intense. They're not patchy or anything, but they're just a little bit more softly pigmented, so that I find that makes them easier to use. So it's not a complaint. They are quite shiny. I have actually not really been using highlighter. This is actually the shade that I've been using the most, and it was, again, kind of a spur of the moment. I wasn't really planning on getting this one, but did. It's called Don't Flutter Yourself. Just putting this almost like a highlighter over bronze skin has been kind of my go-to. It's a kind of icy pink with a golden sheen to it. Again, built up like that, it doesn't look like, even though I have really pale skin, it looks like that would look really weird, but it doesn't. It's beautiful. In fact, let's put that on so you can see. Actually, you know what? I can use both of these. I'll show you both. So if I want to use both, I got the brush, which I love, actually. I have tried like the first launch of the Wet n Wild brushes, the ones that are usually available at Walgreens. I was not a fan. I felt like the bristles felt really plasticky, and obviously they're fake, but it just, they felt really cheap and awful. This brush is, I mean, it's beautiful to look at, but the bristles are so nice and soft. I really love this, and you know, next time I need some brushes, I would actually order these online, which I've never ordered anything from Wet n Wild online, because if I can't get it in store, I'm not going to bother. But man, these brushes are nice. So I'll put a little bit of the Dare to Soar on the apple of my cheek, and then I'll use Don't Flutter Yourself, kind of like a highlight. And just like the Mega Glow highlighters, I find that the sheen, it's so pretty. All right, last but not least, let's talk lip stuff. I got one of the lip scrubs from the Wet n Wild collection. This is the citrus one. It's got a little bit of a grapefruity orange. It's nice. The lip scrub is As you can see, I've used it quite a few times, but I actually just picked up today and have used once and already love way more than this. This lip scrub from Eco Lips. Now, not only is it cruelty-free and everything, a lot of the stuff in here is fair trade, which I would like to support as whenever I can. And this actually, A, you can lick it off your lips. B, an actual moisturizing thing stays on your lips. This is the first lip scrub I've ever experienced that had that I didn't need to put a lip balm on after. I just assumed you would always put a lip balm on after you do a lip scrub, but this one you don't need to. They had 3 flavors. This is the vanilla bean. They also had a mint and a brown sugar. Highly, highly recommend this. This is okay. I mean, it's not bad. It works as a lip scrub, but I don't think you can eat it. And you will definitely need a lip balm after. Although the same is true for the e.l.f. Exfoliating Lip Scrub, which I've been using for years with no real complaints. I have 3 lip things to talk about. Let me just get this first one out of the way. This is from Milani. This is one of their Amore Shine liquid lip colors. This is in the shade Crush. I've just kept this in my purse. It is a really nice kind of cool neutral color. Very pigmented, easy to use. It's very comfortable. Of course, it's not the most long lasting, but it's such a neutral color, it doesn't really matter. It's one of those that just will go with everything. I also got 2 of the lip glosses from the Flights of Fancy collection. This one is called Pouts of Paradise. And actually, I think that this is going to be a go-to shade for me in the fall. It's pretty color anyway, but it really screams fall to me. It's kind of like pumpkin orange. And then this is the one that everybody has been loving. It's featherless, so it's a peachy nude. This one's a little bit more sheer. Might as well try them all on for you. Maybe not the best color for this particular look, but that is Pout of Paradise. As you can see, it's super pigmented. I find these to be comfortable. I don't find them to be very, I mean, you can definitely tell that they're on your lips. They're a little more heavy than other things, but you know, they don't stick together. My lips don't stick together. I don't end up eating it. Is featherless, really pretty, sort of. It's not quite concealer lips. I'm glad it's a little bit more sheer, just for my own personal taste. I think it would look a little streaky and it would make me look dead if it was any more pigmented, but it's just the perfect kind of, again, throw in your purse, it'll go with everything sort of lip gloss. And there is Crush. I really like all of these. I'm a gloss girl though, and I'm not that concerned about, I don't just with my lifestyle, I'm not concerned about longevity. If those are concerns, these might not be the lip products for you, but I have been enjoying them myself. Okay, I've been filming for 1 hour and 10 minutes, so hopefully I'll be able to edit this down quite a bit. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what your thoughts are. If you've tried any of this stuff, I would love to know what your experience has been. And I really appreciate you taking time to watch. I hope you're having an awesome day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.